Thanks for joining us and happy Easter. I'm Jason Zimmerman. This is the holiest day on the Christian calendar. Millions of people across the world are celebrating, some even getting up extra early for sunrise services. To do this, they gather on church lawns and cemeteries and even national parks. Locally, one of those services took place on a Manitowoc beach along the shore of Lake Michigan. Those who showed up at Lighthouse Park also placed a cross out and flowers as part of their Sunday service. All of this is meant to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's a long-running tradition for members of the Manitowoc Cooperative Ministry, which goes back more than 45 years. The pastor also says it's to symbolize the importance of new life, which begins in the spring.
People have been doing sunrise services for centuries. When this started in the mid 80s, when First Presbyterians started doing it, it was really just that desire to make faith a little bit more real.
The pastor says the cross will stay on display for people to see through Wednesday.